Okay, we're here at Gamescom 2011 with Joel Bylas, an Aussie working out of Norway on the Secret World MMO. Yeah, just tell us a little bit about it. There's no classes and no levels, is that right?
Yeah, so we're going for really free-form character progression in this MMO. So we're talking no classes, no levels. Players can pick whatever abilities they want. They build decks of abilities, they place them on their bar, and they can choose what they want to be at any particular moment in the game.
Okay, so there's three factions, so it's like a three-way fight, yet they come together. So how are they in combat with each other, and then how do they work together to fight this darkness, as it's called?
All right, so part of the storyline of the game is that it's set in the real world, modern-day setting, and something has gone wrong, and we're sort of moving towards an apocalypse. And these three secret societies who've been hiding behind the scenes and fighting against each other for generations have sort of started to recruit people to help them in the fight against the darkness, which is rising. So that's how they work together. So in PvE, players can join up and fight together with each other. But in PvP, these guys are still trying to dominate the world, and they want to be the guys standing on the pile at the end of the day. So they're fighting each other in PvP all the time. So it's this conflict between the three. Yep.
And you have to pick a faction, and you stick with that throughout your entire time in the game. Or just tell us a bit about that too.
Yeah. So at the start of the game, you choose one of three factions: the Illuminati, the Templar, or the Dragon. And this sort of defines your play experience. You start in either New York if you're Illuminati, London if you're Templars, or Seoul, South Korea if you're one of the Dragon. And it sort of gives you access to different missions and paths through the game, and there's a storyline which follows the player all the way through.
Rightio, and you just mentioned that storyline that follows. So you sign up to be one of these factions, and you only get that one storyline. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's right. So you'll always see things from the perspective of your faction, and the aim of these storylines is to make the factions actually hate each other a lot, so that it carries on into PvP. So.
And in the demo that we saw, there's these missions that you have in the game, and there was another member of another faction that passed through. Now, is that like a real player, or is that just something that's spliced in there as?
Yeah, no, that's okay. So in that instance, it's like a NPC character. But if the Templar were playing their version of that instance, then it would be them who were crossing at that moment, and it would be an Illuminati character that's an NPC that's coming down through the instance. So we play them off on all sides. So.
All right. Now, there's a strong battle for power, as you mentioned. They all want to be on top. So, what exactly is that power that they're after, and why do they want to be number one?
Okay. So, well, I mean, they're sort of looking to create the new world order. So this darkness is rising, and they want to be on top of the pile at the end. The kind of battle for power is that there's all these sort of ancient relics that are being uncovered. There's an incredibly detailed alternate history to the history of the real world that the writers have detailed for the game. And so some of these things are starting to become uncovered in the game. And that's where the power comes from. Some of this is old technology which is coming again, which is sort of being very powerful. And these guys are trying to grab that because of the coming war with each other. They know is going to happen. So.
Right. And there's a lot of mythology and urban legend and stuff in that. Where did the inspiration come from that?
Yeah, I mean the game director Ragnar Tornquist, he's got a great reputation for being a really strong writer, and he came up with the concept for the game. Every myth, every legend, every conspiracy theory is true, and sort of that's also part of the impact we're going for with the game, in that players will take part in conspiracies, will take part in concealing things from the public, will be involved in hunting down monsters. In the sewers of New York, you'll be killing vampires and things like that.
Right, so on the dev team, are you guys like hardcore conspiracy theorists? Do you guys like really buy into all that sort of stuff?
It's actually kind of scary. Yeah, I mean we I don't know if we buy into it so much as we like do a lot of research into it, and it's crazy how deep some of this stuff goes, and sort of the more you look at it, the more some things start to line up, and it starts to worry you a bit.